Hey guys, it's Lee. It's a gloomy April Sunday here in Germany. It's quite rainy outside and there's not much to do since it's still COVID pandemic season or whatever. Two of my Miltoniopsis are in bloom and I thought I'll just show them to you. So in the middle we have the Herralexander that has been in bloom for quite a while now. And on the right side we have this, I don't know how to call it. What's the name of it? I think it's Linda Lingle or something. You can see I had a problem with some pest here. It was little flies, I don't know the name for it. And so I had to buy these yellow stickers, and then the little flies would stick to it and then they finally died off. So yeah, I bought this plant a while ago, 2 years or something, and I think the year before last year you saw these Miltoniopsis everywhere. You found them in a lot of stores, grocery stores even, and they were all pink. Last year I didn't find it, I didn't see it, but then last year I didn't go out all that much because of the obvious reasons. So this Miltoniopsis is quite easy to grow. It has a beautiful, strong fragrance that reminds me of Nelly Isla, not the typical Miltoniopsis fragrance, but more of the Nelly Isla fragrance. This used to be a much bigger plant, but then the new growth, they started out way too high and then the roots couldn't reach the media, so I had to do something about it. So last year, no, it wasn't, last year, I think it was last year, half a year ago or something, I decided to split the plant and cut off the new growth, which already had some roots, but not really convincing, I have to say. But the plant somehow made it. I had 3 new growth. 1, 2, and 3. There weren't any suitables at that time. They were still new growth, and these 2 developed quite strong under the grow light and gave me these pseudobulbs, and the pseudobulbs grew these nice pinkish flowers. Let me see if I can get it out. I haven't taken it out at all. If there's any root, I potted it up in sphagnum moss, not live sphagnum moss, just the dead sphagnum moss, in a self-watering pot. There are some roots. Oh, there are actually quite some roots, but they're quite yellowish, but they're alive, they're firm. Yeah, I think this one has been doing well, and this one has been doing quite okay too, but then the third one has always been very wobbly. I don't even know if it did anything. I mean, the leaves came out, it's forming a pseudobulb, but it was always very wobbly. I didn't see any roots, and it hasn't produced a flower spike either. But with the rest of the 2 pseudobulbs, the rest of the 2 new growth, the way they grew, I'm quite happy about it, and I think I'm okay with splitting the large plant now. Back then I wasn't too sure if it was a good idea, but it couldn't stay that way either anyways. So this is the other Miltoniopsis that is in bloom now. I don't know the name, maybe it's red tide, but then it's not really red. It's kind of, yeah, there is some red to it, but it is also, what's the color? Purple? Yeah, I think it's called purple. It does have this typical Miltoniopsis strong fragrance. I can't remember when I repotted this plant last time. I have my little tag here. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, it says here March 20. So it has been a year. I think once the bloom is gone, I should definitely repot it. The media is all very old and soggy. And yeah, that's the reason for that is I keep this very, very wet, very, very soggy all the time, so the media breaks down faster. This bloom is gone, so I definitely should repot it. Let's lift this pot out. Let's see what we've got. I was obviously still using perlite last year. Yeah. I think there's some live roots, but if you compare the roots of this plant to the roots of the others, you can see they're somehow a lot thinner. But then these roots are older and the media is older. And the wick just looks very yucky. Whoa. You can see this doesn't belong here, but I was too lazy to remove it. Yeah. So, but I think if you put these two together, let me get them right. Just like that, they look very much the same, but the color is, the one is pink and the one is purplish, reddish. It's just very pretty. So I am really, really happy how these guys are doing. And the back, I showed that before. Ouch, what was that? I don't know. I think I ripped something. It's the Herralexander. One is in live sphagomoss. And one is in leca, as I showed you before, and I was surprised. I was really surprised it works. It has roots. Wow. I haven't lifted this guy up. You see there's a lot of water. Do you see how much water there is in the it's not the reservoir, it's it's because when I tried leca on Miltoniopsis 2 or 3 years ago, I totally failed. I didn't realize back then that they need a lot of water, and the leca pearls here on the surface didn't get wet at all back then, so it didn't work. And I wasn't using a grow light, of course. They were just growing on a windowsill. But this time I changed to smaller leca and a lot more water. As you can see, the water actually goes up until here, and then naturally the leca will wick up the water to the surface. Nevertheless, when I started growing them, I sprayed them every day. And wow, seems to be working. So no more repotting of this one, no more hazel, which is great because repotting is not so much fun, to me at least. So let's see how the next new growth come out and how they develop. There's another spike that is still to bloom. Actually, this one is also this pot is a division. It was a bigger pot, a bigger plant, and then the same like the pink one, the new growth was starting up too high. I had to do something about it, and so I thought, why don't I just cut it? And because I have had a couple of Herralexander, I thought I'd make an experiment with that one. and put it in leca, and turns out it works. So would I repot all my Miltoniopsis in leca? I don't think so. Because I think live sphagnum moss is still the best environment for Miltoniopsis. This was just an experiment. It turned out to work. So yeah, but still, somehow I don't trust the leca, especially with my Phalaenopsis. I have most of them in leca, but with my Phalaenopsis, I feel that there's something wrong. Like, they always have to put out new roots to grow into the leca, and the old roots, which were already adapted to leca, die off at some point. At least with some. I have one or two Miltoniopsis, Phalaenopsis that have well adapted to leca, but then a lot of them, every now and then I have to repot them and then cut away a lot of dead roots and just hope for the next roots to grow into the leca. That's why I wouldn't put all the Miltoniopsis into leca. But then, other than growing my felts in leca, I wouldn't know of another way of growing them without too much hassle. So I still keep the Phalaenopsis in leca. Yeah, and that's it for now. I hope you guys have a very great Sunday and a great week. Bye bye.